up with the boy Durk? You fuck with the boy Durk?
Yeah.
You need to make that nigga do something. You need to make that nigga. I don't know. I did a lot of player shit for the boy too though. When the boy career went where it supposed to be, man, Pluto. I was really like locked in with him, like just really fucking with him. But I don't know. He acting a little different.
If I had any idea that Young Thug did this much talking, I would advise him to start a podcast while he was in jail. Now, over the past week or so, Young Thug has been getting flamed by everyone on the internet because not only has he been revealed to be a snitch, not only is he pretty much pillow talking all the rap industry business with Mariah the Scientist, he's just been viewed as a snake because of things that he had to say against his fellow cohorts and other rappers. Now, the situation all first took smoke and became in the media last week when an audio clip from a jail interrogation room came out. Now, during this clip, Young Thug was with the police officer, which he shouldn't have been because he's a gangster rapper, and he was talking to them about the tour bus shooting of Lil Wayne. And the person who was involved in the shooting was P.B. Roscoe, who was an affiliate of Young Thug. Now, the way the whole situation went down was Lil Wayne's tour bus shooting happened in 2015, and P.B. Roscoe was involved in it, and he went to jail for 10 years. Now, what Young Thug would say as his defense was he was only speaking to the cop, name-dropping P.B. Roscoe's name to say that, hey, we were friends with Lil Wayne, we sold him weed, we wouldn't have ever shot up his car. They're trying to say, hey, we're on the same page as Lil Wayne, we never heard him. Now, if you're a street ninja from what I've seen on the internet, rule number one, never talk to the police and always ask for a lawyer. But I guess for Young Thug, he forgot the number one rule and people had a lot to say about him. Now, recently, Young Thug's been getting exposed for simply just pillow talking. Like point blank period, he was pillow talking. So he was talking about Lil Baby and QCP, who was his good friend. Like, if you guys know the story of Lil Wayne, or should I say Lil Baby, Young Thug paid Lil Baby to leave the streets and start rapping, which helped fund his rap career. Now, at the time, about 2 years ago or so, some paperwork came out about QCP, who was the owner of Quality Control Music, which is Lil Baby's record label. Now, essentially on the jail phone, I believe that he was talking to 21 Savage, Young Thug being that, he spoke about how Wham was signed to a rat, and he doesn't know why Wham wouldn't just sell his music catalog and leave the label. Because during this time, there was an individual by the name of Scooter Braun. Now, Scooter Braun was someone who was a music exec or along those lines who had hundreds of millions of dollars and was willing to buy Lil Baby's catalog for $150 million. Now, due to Lil Baby wanting to be low to QCP, he didn't want to sell his catalog. He said, nope, I'm cool here. I don't want to have a meeting without P being here. And the whole situation happened was that Lil Baby didn't want to sell his catalog for $150 million, and QCP ended up selling the entire Quality Control music label for around $300 million. I think it was $375 to be exact.
I talked to Wham on the phone. I said, what you think he gonna give you out that money? I said, you think he gonna give you $75 million or $100 million? He like, shit. I'm like, be always real. Do you think he gonna give you $75 to $100 million on that deal? Be always real. He like, hell no, I don't think that nigga gonna do it right like that. But Scooter Braun offered Wham $150 million. Scooter Braun told Wham, I want to buy your rights, so I'm gonna give you $150 million. Wham tell this nigga, nah, I'm cool. I gotta bring Pete to the meeting. Man, that nigga went straight around Wham and called Pete and bought the whole label from Pete. The whole conversation started from Scooter Braun trying to buy Lil Wham, trying to buy him out of the deal too. He wanted to buy Wham out of the deal. Like, I want you to be with me.
Now, Young Thug would essentially be bashing QCP, saying, first of all, Wham is signed to a rat. We can't do that. We're street ninjas from Atlanta. And second of all, you got approached first for someone to buy you, which is the whole reason why people, or should I say Quality Control record, even had any value is because of you. He was down talking to Migos, saying that the Migos don't have any value, that the Migos are in the red. And he was essentially bigging up Lil Baby, saying, listen, the whole reason why they signed the label is to get your catalog because you're the most valuable asset of that label. Given the circumstances of the whole situation, this is very crazy because during this time where Young Thug was incarcerated, Lil Durk was very prominent and made it clear that it was Free Thug and F Gunna. Now, one of the reasons why Lil Durk felt this way is because his own father went to jail for 26 years because someone snitched on him. So he knows how snitching can really, literally break up a family, and he was totally against it. Now, in interviews with DJ Academics, Lil Durk would speak on, hey, I love thugs, so F Gunna, if you're a rat, you're a rat, and there's no way around this. But after this, interrogation footage came out of Young Thug talking to the police, saying, oh, I can give you my number, I'll come back another day. It just cooks for Atlanta. Atlanta, it's over. But what he did about Lil Durk here was really interesting was, he wasn't fully bad-mouthing Lil Durk, but he's saying, hey, what's up with Durk? I'm out here trying to make some music. He's not responding back to me. I wanted to clear a verse from my album. And this is during the same time of 2023 where Young Thug released Business is Business. Now, recall the photo, or should I say the cover art for this album is Young Thug with his back turned. He's looking like he's in a courtroom. And this is going to be the album that was essentially the F Gunna campaign. You know, Young Thug pretty much hated Gunna's way into success. He wanted to see Gunna fail so bad for ratting, and even Young Thug, or should I say 21 Savage, he said, listen, I know you want to say F Gunna because he's a rat and your word has bombed out in these streets of Atlanta and the hip-hop scene, but what will that really do for your career? And 21 Savage was exactly right. 21 Savage was a voice of reason saying, listen, you might say F Gunna, but it's like, F Gunna then what? Like, his music is hard. Unless you're going to really do something to hurt him, which you can't, are you going to put out better music than him? Are you going to tell everyone else to start recording him? Because it's like, for a long period of time, should I say a year, a lot of people collectively stopped working with Gunna, but after seeing that he's had 2 back-to-back albums, damn near 3, with the last one that came out a couple weeks ago, it's like, okay, these hip-hop rules or street rules don't have any value because he's winning and I want to win, and every artist is going to do what's best for their own career. Another thing that was very interesting during this time was that Young Thug would actually speak poorly about Kendrick Lamar, not that I care because Kendrick is cool and all, but you saw what happened last year. And he'll say that the reason why Kendrick Lamar would never be bigger than Drake is because he's a hater. And it's funny because during the last 2024 and the entire year of 2024, the whole narrative being pushed was that Drake was a colonizer. He's a white man running through Atlanta with his check card or check balance to steal from each and every artist. Future, Young Thug, 21, Baby, Migos, just take, and not give it back, right? That was the whole message being portrayed. But seeing Young Thug, who is incarcerated now, not even knowing if he's going to see the next day of light for the last 2-3 years or 20 years, he's already saying that, yo, the reason why Young Thug, or should I say the reason why Kendrick Lamar will never be better than Drake is because he doesn't put no one on. He's put Keem on, but Keem's not that big, and he's very selfish as a rapper is what he was trying to say.
Supposed to be a nigga who bless a nigga. That's why them niggas will never be bigger than Drake, ever in life. Niggas will never be bigger than Buddy. Buddy gonna do it right. Buddy fucking with everybody. You know how many niggas like Drake change? How many niggas can take care of their family because of Buddy? Just like straight fucking with you. Kendrick, goddamn, put a nigga on. Y'all niggas, you're a superstar. You don't ran up, you're a few hundred M, but you ain't put nobody on, though.
Now, I've heard a lot of speculation at the time that the reason that Kendrick Lamar didn't want to be on the album is probably because he's heard that Drake was on that album. And we all heard that, you know, less than a year later in 2024, hip-hop had one of its craziest year ever where Drake is getting this, Kendrick Lamar's getting this, east to west, Toronto to LA. Like, there's just a lot of static going on in the music and, you know, the real world. So people would say that, oh, well, maybe Kendrick Lamar saw that Drake was on the album and didn't want to be on the album, which is fair because we saw what was really going to happen less than 12 months later. Now, when it comes to Durk's situation, I don't know how Durk should really feel because Durk was singing Free Young Thug for the longest while. He's letting it be known that F all rats. I hate rats. My dad went to jail for 26 years because of a rat. I will never rat and never tell. And given that Young Thug, or should I say, given that Lil Durk's current circumstance is him being in jail for murder for hire, and he can literally only lose the trial if someone involved in the trial tells because there's a lot of circumstantial evidence, even though there are some text messages. It's crazy how it's all piling out. Like, you know, you think that your favorite rapper was the most street thorough, rah this, we're spinning this, we're slamming this, we're wiping nose, doing all this other shit, is, you know, as thorough as they can be. But, you know, this is all feeling like WWE. And not that I personally care because, you know, I'm taking these lyrics as figurative. I'm not expecting someone who says in the song, I shot at his mommy, now he no longer mention me, to have shot at wife and Lucha's mother, right? But I guess that's sort of how hip-hop works. And people are going to do what's best for them. As for Young Thug, it's very embarrassing because someone like Lil Baby, who's a close associate of him, Young Thug brought him in the rap game, gave him money to quit hustling to get in the studio. Seems like Lil Baby has officially abandoned Young Thug. He's putting on Twitter, wham, I'm with you forever. Like, he sounds like someone who's lost his girlfriend, he's trying to win her back. But he knows that after this footage came out of him literally talking to the police, it's too long. This is from 2015. AI wasn't that good. You're having full-on extensive conversations, and it's just really not looking good, man. You guys let me know. Was Lil Durk wrong for feeling like violated? Because truth be told, we never heard what Lil Durk actually feels about this call because the leak came out 24 hours ago. But how would you feel if you're Lil Durk? You know, Thug essentially saying that, yo, I put Lil Durk on in some tough positions in his career, which he isn't entirely wrong because from 2014 to 2018, Lil Durk's career was kind of like, you know, it was kind of stifling. Like, he left Def Jam. He wasn't as hot as a rapper. He was still putting out his Signs to the Streets mixtapes. He had the streets with him, but he didn't have the general masses of hip-hop. And he wasn't as popular or as trending as he is now. And, of course, he's at the highest peak of his career with him fighting murder for hire charge. Now, you guys let me know. Is Young Thug pillow talk, and is he speaking honestly? And should this be, or was this even just blown out of context or blown out of proportion? I'll catch you guys in the next video. I got something real special coming for you, and thank you for watching.